second half of the season begins here in the third biggest race of the year. Welcome to the Charlotte Motor Speedway in Concord, North Carolina. We are here at this mile-and-a-half quad oval speedway for race number 17 of the 2023 Trinity River Cup Series season. This is the Bojangles World 600. 80 laps here, 120 miles. Somebody will bank a crown jewel win. Welcome up here into the booth here for the Trinity River Network. Alongside me is Brennan Wilmington for the call of this one. Brennan, thank you for joining me for the call of tonight's race here at Charlotte. This is one of the biggest races of the year. 1 year ago, the first 600 mile test for these guys at this track, it was Kyle McLeese winning the Bojangles 600 1 year ago. He comes in 22nd in the championship today, not leading like he was 1 year ago. Tonight, the points leader coming in is Braden Perez, but last week's winner was Chase Buck. So a different storyline is going to come into play tonight for sure. But what is there to expect coming into this one tonight? It's a very, very unique race.
Definitely is, because there's going to be more strategy involved in this race if we get some green flag pit cycles and stuff, because there's 2 pit cycles instead of the usual 1, and they're pretty spread out the race, so you want to make sure you pit at the right times. Although from last year, it only came into play for the first pit cycle because it started getting crazy at the end. We might see a little bit of that this year. We're going to have to wait and see. This is one of the races I've been really looking forward to over the schedule. Of course, you mentioned it's one of the biggest races of the year, and this is one of the most fun tracks to race at, the Charlotte Motor Speedway. So I'm glad that I'm going to be able to be up in the booth here today and watch this unfold.
And we'll hope it is a good one like it was 1 year ago. It was a spectacular race. But we're just hoping for the best tonight, because sometimes these attempts can just go crazy. If you know, you know. Braden Perez leads the championship standings coming in to this one, 418 points towards the championship, 23 ahead of Eric Monaco, 30 ahead of Brad Stover, 32 ahead of Sebastian Kugelon and Chase Buck, 35 ahead of Elijah Gordon, 45 ahead of Jacob Thibodeau, 49 ahead of both William Brock and Alex Lozano, and John Andrews rounds out the top 10 in the championship, 52 points behind Braden Perez. Let's get these cars rolling off the pit road here at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. Trey Wright, the pole sitter for tonight's 80-lap affair here at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. Alongside him, Marty Sakala in the number 11, who knows how to go to victory lane on mile-and-a-half tracks. He did so twice 1 year ago at Las Vegas and Atlanta. Row number 2, we find Anthony McClure, who's won twice already this year, looking to get another win here in the Trinity River Cup Series. The rookie starts alongside the Frenchman Paul-Antoine Cyr, who's looking to put a 1 in the win column for the first time. Elijah Gordon, 6th in the championship points coming into this one, winless so far this year, starting alongside Scott Upton, who has never won in their Trinity River Cup Series career. Row number 4, we find John Andrews starting alongside Jacob Thibodeau. Each of them 1 win this year, Andrews 2 in his whole career. Rounding out the top 10, we find William Brock, who has no wins in the Trinity River Cup level. He starts alongside Braden Perez, who leads the championship points coming into this one. Well, Brennan, a lot of really good drivers up there in the top 10. Who do you think is going to go to victory lane tonight at the Charlotte Motor Speedway in the Bojangles World 600?
I'm going to keep it short and simple. I'm not going to pick anybody from the top 10. I'm actually going to pick the 11th place starter, Mitchell Henderson, in the 53, your Talladega winner. I think he's going to get it done here today at Charlotte.
He comes in 21st in the championship standings. We'll have to see how he does here. Pace car down into the pits. Welcome in, everybody. Happy Memorial Day. It's time to kick off the Monday night matinee. The green flag is out and the Bojangles World 600 is underway. Trey Wright leads lap number 1 here at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. Anthony McClure right to the inside. A brave, bold move heading off into turn number 1.
Seen Anthony McClure make some brave, bold moves in the past, and here we go. He's making another one early on in the race. He's got Elijah Gordon behind him. Try and help him get by Trey Wright through turns 3 and 4. Marty Zakela in 4th. John Andrews in 5th. Looks like McClure is going to lead lap 2, but here comes the 76 of Elijah Gordon. He's going to try and take the lead away.
A lot of shuffling here early on in this one, similar to the start of the race 1 year ago. Gordon down low. He's going to take that race lead away from Anthony McClure. McClure slips back onto the outside of Trey Wright. Marty Zakela is 4th. John Andrews there in the 5th position, winner at Atlanta earlier this year. The only other quad oval mile and a half we'll go to all year. So he definitely knows how to get to victory lane at tracks like this. Could he do it again?
William Brock to deal with to his inside, trying to take the 5th spot away. Zakela going for 3rd on McClure. McClure slipped back from the lead now. He's up on that outside lane, 2 and 3 wide behind them. Look at that, they got the 27, the 45, and the 05 all going 3 wide. That's Chase Buck, Kyle McLeese, and Christian Vargas. Vargas give a little boot to McLeese there, but they keep it together, and we stay green.
And up ahead, your pick, Mitchell Henderson, marching his way up through the field on the inside. Almost another 3 wide there with Paul-Antoine Cyr, Anthony McClure, and John Andrews. And Andrews will be the benefactor from that. Paul-Antoine Cyr pulls in behind that 41, and Anthony McClure there in behind the 7 of Paul-Antoine Cyr. Here's William Brock trying to get to the inside. His teammate Trey Wright there runs in that 2nd position just ahead of Marty Zakela, but Zakela with a big gain on Trey Wright into the quad oval. Almost a 3 wide battle behind him, but it'll be 2. Here comes Cyr down to the inside of Andrews.
They're going for a top 5 spot, and all this battling happening behind Elijah Gordon. Elijah Gordon's loving what he's seen in his mirror because they're fighting each other and not him. Wright's trying to get the gap on this pack so that he can run down the 76 of Elijah Gordon. Looks like that's what he's going to do, at least for the moment. And we'll see if he can start gaining on that 11 car. I can actually kind of tell he is gaining a little bit from the 76 of Elijah Gordon, so we might have a battle for the lead here in the next few laps.
3 wide behind him, Mitchell Henderson in the middle of it. Keegan Thompson down low, Alejandro Cruz Jr. up top, and another 3 wide back behind. This is dangerous for the top 2 of the championship. Eric Monaco and Braden Perez were right in the middle of that, and Perez is still in the middle 3 wide.
It's a bad spot for the top 2 in the championship to be right in the middle of the pack, right in the middle of 3 wide. If there's a wreck, there's no way they're going to be able to miss it. As for the race lead, like I mentioned a couple laps ago, here comes Trey Wright. He's caught up to Elijah Gordon. He broke away from the pack, and he's going to try and make a move on Elijah Gordon, maybe down the back stretch, but I think I'm going to see it happen out of turn number 4. As they're still 3 wide, Eric Monaco's involved in it again. Is getting absolutely nuts in the middle of the pack right now.
Yeah, but up ahead, it is Trey Wright going after Elijah Gordon. John Andrews going after Marty Zakela, 1st and 3rd. 2 battles going on right now up front. Wright down to the inside, he'll take the lead, and the battle back in the 3rd position. It is a stalemate right now, but Andrews now noses ahead of Marty Zakela.
Thompson up into the top 5. He dives it in on Zakela. He's going to try and take 4th. He might even go after 3rd. Look at the run he's got on the inside in that Trinity River Racing number 23.
Good run so far for our Auto Club winner. Keegan Thompson comes in very deep in the championship standings, looking to turn around his struggle of a season. 39th, he comes into the championship standings, by far the lowest of any of the Trinity River Racing cars. His teammate Sebastian Kukulon runs 4th, and Justin Zeidel is in the 18th position in the championship standings. Of course, they're both starting a little deeper in the field. Sebastian Kugelon 29th now, actually, and Zidell is 30th. So Keegan Thompson flying the banner high for Trinity River Racing right now. It's Elijah Gordon in the second position. He's looking to chase down that 95 of Trey Wright, who has definitely, by far, led the most laps so far.
Trying to make the outside work now, and he's gaining time on those top two. We'll see if Gordon tries to make a move on the front stretch, and he will. He's going to poke his nose down there. He's going to create a gap for himself, and he's going to go underneath the 95 of Trey Wright in through turns 1 and 2 with the help of the 23 Keegan Thompson. More three-wide action behind them. Thibodeau, Garcia, and I think that's Cruz on the outside. Still very close to the wall there, going down the back straightaway. Thibodeau will come out ahead of Garcia and Cruz. But up front, Elijah Gordon, we went away from it for a second, and he already took the lead away. Elijah Gordon did.
Yeah, we'll try to have that in the bottom corner of the screen. I'll hopefully remember to do that. But Elijah Gordon takes the race lead here at the Charlotte Motor Speedway, the Bojangles World 600. It is actually Keegan Thompson is second. William Brock is now third. Trey Wright all the way back to fourth. Marty Sakala in for fifth for the time being. Wright trying to get the run on the outside of his teammate, and he will not be able to take Colonel Sanders around the Best Buy Chevrolet for the time being.
Staying up there, now and Brock is finally clear of the 95 of Trey Wright. Wright's still on the outside, trying to get some run out of turn 2, but it's not going to work. Kind of single file up at the front for now, save for the battle between Andrews and McClure for 7th right now. But we know this track. It's going to start icing up pretty quickly in a couple of laps, and it looks like this battle for the lead's about to start getting dicing up as the 76 of Elijah Gordon's being caught by Keegan Thompson, and Thompson's going to look to the inside. He just barely got that gap. William Brock going to be behind him as we're side by side for the lead once again here at Charlotte.
If William Brock makes it 3 wide, this is going to be dangerous. Heading off into turn number 3. He will not make it 3 wide, though. He'll push the 23 of Keegan Thompson through. So Thompson will be the first Toyota driver, I do believe, to lead a lap tonight here at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. Here he comes around to make it official at the end of lap 15 on to lap 16 here as Marty Sakala trying to get to the inside of the 95 of Trey Wright. Taking a look at your top championship drivers right now as far as where they're running on the racetrack. Braden Perez runs 25th. Eric Monaco runs 22nd. Brad Stover, for the time being, runs in the 32nd position. Sebastian Kukulon runs 28th. Chase Buck runs 18th right now. Elijah Gordon there in the 6th position, or in the 3rd position, I'm sorry, trying to get down to the inside of William Brock. I said 6th. It's Elijah Gordon is 6th in the championship standings coming in. Jacob Thibodeau, who's 7th in the championship standings coming in, is 12th. 8th in the championship standings, William Brock there battling with Elijah Gordon. 9th place, Alex Lozano right now is 15th. And 10th, John Andrews, who is kind of in the back half of the top 10. He's in 8th right now. So these 3 drivers up here, Brock, Gordon, and Andrews, looking to gain a bunch of points in the championship standings as long as their points adversaries stay back in the back half of the field. Of course, we've got a couple of pit cycles left in this one, so that could change things, and we might have a few cautions by the time this one's over and done with. We had 2 1 year ago. We had 3 in Season 3 here when it was only a 67-lap race. So we'll see how things go from here on out. Keegan Thompson still leads the way here at Charlotte, and a tense battle going on behind.
On Andrews, Marty Sakala, Alejandro Cruz, all battling for the 6th position. Andrews took it away from Sakala. Now Cruz is looking to try and take it away from Andrews. And Garcia, Anthony McClure are getting involved in this battle, as well as Jacob Thibodeau. Here comes William Brock trying to peek his nose to the bottom underneath the 95. Instead, Chase Harris. Oh, he's going to bump him up the track a little bit. They made a little bit of contact into turn 1. Chase Harris is going to force his way underneath, and he's going to take over the 4th spot instead.
We hadn't hardly talked about Chase Harris at all tonight. Here he is in the 4th position, trying to get 3rd. He comes in dead last in the championship standings. in the Trinity River Cup Series, but with a fantastic start to his night. We'll see if it keeps up. We are now a quarter of the way done here at Charlotte Motor Speedway.
Keegan Thompson still out front pacing the field. Hasn't had much of a challenge in a while, but Elijah Gordon might change that. Andrews goes up the racetrack back there. Ace Garcia is going to say thank you very much and take a spot away from him. And Jacob Thibodeau is looking to do the same as he's running in the 9th spot right now, trying to get 8 from the 41 on Andrews. Great run for the 32 team so far tonight. Here comes Chase Harris with another bold move, this time to the inside of Trey Wright.
Chase Harris with 1 win in his career. Coming at Auto Club Speedway 1 year ago. He drove from 37th to 1st to get that win. I don't think he started that deep in the field, but Harris looking to finally get a 1 in the win column once again in the Trinity River Cup Series. Gordon, though, is closing in rapidly on that 23 of Keegan Thompson, who has been on cruise control for the last few laps, but now it might be panic time.
Gordon is right to the back bumper of Keegan Thompson. I would be expecting a move to come very soon for the driver of the 76. You know, he's got championship points on the line here. A win would drastically help him in that championship fight, especially since a lot of the top guys in points are running in the midfield or the back of the field, like we mentioned about 8 or so laps ago. And Gordon to the back bumper. Thompson hasn't made a move yet. Maybe he's just waiting for the right time. We'll see.
Out of 2 down the back straightaway, still staying singled out through the majority of the front part of the field. The tires have definitely worn out at this point, and we are closing in on that first pit cycle. Around the 30s, the 60s is when we should expect them to start. Here's Gordon taking a look down to the inside of Thompson. Thompson takes the defensive line through the quad oval and into turn number 1. Pins that 76 all the way down to the inside.
A defensive stand by the 23 car so far. He made some pretty bold moves there to keep the 76 behind him, but I don't think Gordon's done. He's still there. And you'll definitely want to try and get past him before this first pit cycle happens. He's entering a little higher in turn 3 so that he can enter deeper in 4 and get a run out of the corner. That's a very interesting line there by Elijah Gordon. It might work out here, but Thompson's still going to stay ahead.
Now Alejandro Cruz Jr. had to come into the pits. There, the 46. Don't know what he came down for. Perhaps it's just a standard cycle. But I believe he's 2 laps down right now, so it could have been something else. Might have blown a tire. But we are coming around to start lap 27, and we are growing closer, ever closer, to that pit cycle. And we'll see when it starts here. We'll see who the first real taker is going to be. But things have really started to settle down up front for the most part, though Elijah Gordon has tried to get around that 23, and Trey Wright has tried to get around that 54. To no real avail because the tires are just so worn out at this point. And you saw it there. William Brock tried to get to the inside of his teammate. Not able to. So we're coming around to start lap 28. So Brennan, do you want to come down early or do you want to come down later?
The undercut is the strat here, and we're still seeing 3 wide even on the old tires. But I was going to say, I think the undercut's the strat here. I think getting track position. Oh, look out! Made contact. Alex Lozano and Marty Zakela said, we're in turn number 2. Thankfully, that did not result in a wreck. Might have been that might have been helpful for the front few cars, though, for them to come in under a green and be able to do that. But yeah, I think coming in early is the way to go.
There's Gordon taking a look to the outside of Thompson. Out of 2, down the back stretch once again here at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. You see how bumpy this backstretch is. This track last repaved in 2006. So the bumps are real here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Gordon may have finally caught up completely to the 23. No, he's still not able to make the move. The tires are just so worn here at this point of the race, and now we're on to lap 30. You've got to think they're going to come down here pretty soon. Just who is the first taker going to be? And see if anybody does it this time. Oh, Trey Wright's going to.
Right.
Trey Wright's the first taker. And Andrews with a brave entry into the pits. Goodness, that was almost bad.
It's either brave or stupid, depending on how you look at it. Look at the 50 car, Andrew Williams. That might be speeding, honestly, for that 50 car. You see how quickly he entered that.
Yeah, that was a very, very high entry on Williams's part. He may get held for a few seconds here. But Sebastian Kukulon, the last one in. Paul-Antoine Cyr also joining the first, making up the first 5 to come down. Chase Harris is going to stay out one more time. He'll get a bonus point towards the championship. And oh boy, big stack up at the head of pit road. No, oh boy. No cautions. No cautions going to come out, I don't believe. No caution. But a big stack up at the head of pit road involving several cars. Looked like Zidell, Chick-fil-a, and I couldn't tell who else was back there, but that's the big group now coming into the pits for this particular cycle. Now Chase Harris is going to come down into the pits. Alejandro Cruz Jr., he's already come down once, so he'll get a lap back. As I believe that's everybody. Everybody else that needed to come into the pit still has done so, and there's Trey Wright coming back out. Coming back around, I should say. We'll see who cycles into the race lead. I would have to believe it was going to be Trey Wright, but Keegan Thompson just might do that.
Still got to get up to speed, though, so Wright's going to at least close in on him. But it was a great pit stop for the 23 crew. Look how far ahead he got out compared to the 95 of Wright.
That is an enormous gap for Keegan Thompson. We'll see about this group here. Oh, yeah. See you later.
What that lead gap is next time by. That's a pit stop by the 23 as we got a side-by-side battle for third between Elijah Gordon and Ace Garcia. John Andrews also involved in this battle. It will be third once they cycle around. Rather, once the ticker updates. But Garcia on the inside. Andrews doesn't know who to help. He's going up high and up low.
And now he'll commit down to the inside of Elijah Gordon. Gordon trying to work that Larson line up top. And he'll hold off the 41 for the time being. We've been caution-free through the first 34 laps. A nice change of pace, honestly, after the 5-caution event 1 week ago at North Wilkesboro, though it was wildly entertaining. Oh my goodness.
Parrish.
Was that Parrish? That was Parrish down to the inside. And the caution's going to come out on that one. Well, I spoke that into existence, didn't I? Caution is out here at the Charlotte Motor Speedway, and the 2.4-second lead for Keegan Thompson has just evaporated.
What we were trying to say, so that you guys don't get confused, is that we had an attempt before this one where there were 6 cautions in the race, and
there were 5 cautions last week as well. So it's nice to kind of have a laid-back start to the race, at least as far as the cautions go. But the battling has definitely been wild. But Brennan is right. We did have an attempt. That was the thing I alluded to in the pre-race. Like, if you know, you know. 6 cautions the first attempt for this one. But we saw it through to the end, and we just decided, what the heck, we'll do it over. And I think it's paying off so far. Well, hopefully it stays this way. But, Will Parrish, I don't quite know what happened to him. I guess we'll take a look at the replay in just a moment. But he is now 2 laps down, and we're going to see a couple of others come down into the pits. Alejandro Cruz Jr. and Justin Zidell making quick trips back into the pit area. Will Parrish is going to come back out on the racetrack, so I'd assume it was a tire problem. But he will come back out onto the racetrack, and we will get this race restarted once again momentarily with still everybody remaining on the racetrack. Real quick, let's go back and take a look at what happened to bring out the first caution here in Bojangles World 600 at Charlotte. So we really only need one angle for this one. There's Parrish. He was going to go up to the outside to get on the racetrack, but comes back down with a tire problem immediately coming out of the pits. Very interesting. Don't know how on earth that happened, but Will Parrish is going to come to a stop. Barely just misses getting bodied by Brandon Hayes as he was riding the white line going through 3 and 4, and there's Parrish coming to a stop, and that brings out the caution here at Charlotte. Welcome back to your live picture here at the Charlotte Motor Speedway, working the first caution of the race here in the Bojangles World 600. Caution coming out for a blown tire on Will Parrish, making him stall in the turn 3 and 4 area. He is now 1 lap down. The other car that was a lap down, Andrew Williams, has gotten back on the lead lap. 39 cars on the lead lap now, running an average race speed of 160.4 miles per hour as of the last time through, despite this caution period. It's Keegan Thompson, Trey Wright, Ace Garcia, Elijah Gordon, John Andrews, Alex Lozano, Chase Harris, Max Sterling, Paul Antoine Sear, and Stephen Colon, the top 10. Green flag about to come back out here at Charlotte. 43 laps to go. Garcia up to the outside, now down to the inside, looking for that second position. Same thing for Chase Harris as he gets down to the inside of Lozano for that 6th position. Very same move.
Boy, the field really caught Trey Wright napping there, as he's going to lose a bunch of spots here on this restart. Here comes Gordon trying to get the lead. At least get second from Ace Garcia. 3 wide behind him. Andrews shoved right up the racetrack, and now he's going to lose even more spots than he would have before.
Meanwhile, Keegan Thompson says, guys, keep it up. They're still side by side for that second position. Into turn number 1. Elijah Gordon is going to take it away from Ace Garcia. And Andrews has caught the wall a little bit.
Alright, just a little kiss. He'll only lose a few spots, but that's not what he wanted to happen for sure. And he's on the outside 3 wide again. There's a battle back there in the back half of the top 10. Here comes Gordon for the race lead on Keegan Thompson. A little bit easier to pass now that they're on fresher tires, isn't it?
Yeah, he's probably gonna get it done this time. Here's Ace Garcia in behind that 76, trying to push him through. Here's Sterling trying to get to the inside. Garcia tries to throw the block. Whoa, baby, that was close. Sterling with a big dive on the inside and gets a 2-for-1 special down low. He'll now try to get around our race leader, Elijah Gordon.
You get a 3-for-1 here as he tries to get underneath Elijah Gordon. He is underneath Gordon, and he's going to get past him and get the lead. Max Sterling to the front for Logan Sport.
Oh, trouble out of turn 2. Jacob Thibodeau into the back of Mitchell Collins, turns him sideways, and a major pileup backstretch. Upside down, 3 cars, Stover, 4. Parker upside down as well. McShane, and a major pileup. This is the big one that we have at Charlotte. Oh my goodness. An absolute melee.
A lot of cars on the back straightaway. Its leader, Braden Perez, was in that. I don't think he had got a lot of damage, but he was definitely involved in it, and he is in the pit lane.
I don't know about the right side there. I have to take a look at the left. But, yeah, Braden Perez was definitely involved in that incident. And Eric Monaco second in the championship as well. Brad Stover third in the championship, involved in that one. So the entire top 3 in the championship involved in that incident.
Split strategy.
And yes, indeed. This is that point of the race where if cautions come out, do you want to stay out, or do you come down and get the fresh tires now, or go for 2 fresher tires and try to get a better restart? Do you bank on another caution happening? Well, Will Parrish is glad this one happened, because he will get the free pass, or actually, yeah, he will, and a lot of drivers will actually probably be getting the free pass with this one. A lot of drivers fell victim to that incident, and Parrish, in that madness, actually fell another lap down, the poor guy. So
It's out of the race.
He's there in the pits, actually getting service in behind Blake Parker, so I think he might have actually got caught up in that incident.
Said Perez was involved, not Parrish. I said
Perez,
he was out. I said Perez was out.
Perez was definitely involved in that one, and I think you're right.
Saw him disappear.
Oh, I didn't see that list. Goodness. I didn't see 31st through 40th. Yeah, we got a lot of cars out of this race. Now, so with 37 laps to go this time, the caution is back out here at Charlotte for a grinding pileup at the back straightaway. Let's go back and take a look at what happened to set it off. So coming out of turn number 2, looks like Collins gets a little loose there, gets up into Thibodeau, and up into the wall they go. Crown gets a piece there off the 43. Vargas runs into the back of that 3, and behind, it gets blocked up very quick. There's Stover, runs into the back of the 43, sends Collins up into the air. Stover gets hit by the 59. Perez runs into that 43. Priya McShane goes over. Blake Parker goes over. Then along comes Alejandro Cruz Jr. there. He just about makes it through, but then contact there with the 43 of Collins sends the 46 up and over. And that's not even beginning to talk about all the others that were in this incident, and even the ones that barely got through it. We're going to go on board with a couple of them now to see how they ventured their way through this incident.
Riding on board with Eric Monaco, who somehow has all the best wreck avoidance cams this season, and that is a car flying at your face. How'd you like to see this happening in front of you? Monaco makes it through the wreck, but we saw smoke pouring out of his car, and that's because he ends up blowing up on the cooldown lap here. It's unfortunate for him. There goes the engine right there. So he actually made it past the wreck, and then the engine gave up on him half a lap later. So very, very bad fortune for Eric Monaco right after some very, very good fortune. So very, very strange circumstance there. But that might be the wreck avoidance cam of the year right there. So he went under the 43 of Mitchell Collins.
And on board with your Daytona 500 winner and Season 3 champion Trey Smith. See, this wreck happens in front of him. He starts checking up. He goes all the way down to the inside. You see Roberto Crown Jr. hit the wall in front of him. And look behind at just the absolute mayhem that goes on back there. And Trey Smith just somehow is able to venture his way through that incident.
Here's your real-time shot here. Collins washes up the track into Thibodeau, and then absolute mayhem happens on the back straightaway. The track becomes blocked. We have cars on top of cars. If you're keeping count at home, that's 5 cars that ended up on their roof at some point in this wreck, and they even kept wrecking into turns 3 and 4 after that. Multiple championship contenders involved in that. A bit of a skirmish here between Brock Nelson and Andrew Williams. I don't know what that was all about, but yeah, that's one of the biggest wrecks we've ever seen in the Trinity River Cup Series, and that took out a number of cars, to say the least.
Back with your live coverage here at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. Welcome back to the Bojangles World 600. Caution coming out for the second time tonight for an absolutely enormous pileup on the back straightaway. 14 cars are out of the race, and it looks like we might add another. Trey Smith on the inside with the smoke of death coming out of his car, and so we'll make it 15 cars out of the race. Something has gone wrong with the Daytona 500 winner as we get ready to come to the green flag.
Sterling in the lead, Chase Harris second, Chase Buck in third, and then it's Caleb Rose and Colin Teague, who started 39th, by the way, I want to point out. We're back green here at Charlotte.
Great launch by the top two, and a great launch as well by Colin Teague down to the inside of Caleb Rose, looking for that 4th position, and he's going to take it. Here come the other 2 Velocity cars, Mitchell Henderson and Ace Garcia. Could they rescue their teammate Caleb Rose as he falls in behind the 97?
All 3 of them in a line now working together. And Chase Harris is looking to the inside of Max Sterling, but Sterling's going to hold on to the lead for now. He's got a teammate of his own behind him in Chase Buck.
And Buck, who won 1 week ago at North Wilkesboro Speedway, looking to go back-to-back in the state of North Carolina to do what Kyle McLeese did 1 year ago, except the race 1 week ago would have been Rockingham. We didn't go to North Wilkesboro 1 week ago. But Chase Buck won at Rockingham. He's won at North Wilkesboro. Could he take the Triple Crown in the state of North Carolina.
That's Chase Buck's home state, so you can imagine that would be a great feat for him to accomplish as Colin Teague goes to the inside of him for third. He's got Garcia and Keegan Thompson, who led a lot of laps early in the race, right behind him. And Teague looks like he's going to take the third position going into turn number 3. Gordon is going to make a move underneath Thompson now, as Max Sterling and Chase Harris have checked out.
Things staying reasonably calm in the top 2 positions. Sterling leads. Chase Harris, Colin Teague now falls into the clutches of Ace Garcia. The battle for third rages on again. Here comes that 52. Garcia is going to take that spot away from Teague. 3 wide, very close racing back there. And a bobble from Sebastian Kukulon as he's to the outside of Anthony McClure, and Thomas Truxell working his way into the picture. Where did he come from?
Do want to point out, for those of us who are hoping that we don't have a bunch of wrecks, there were so many cars taken out in that one wreck that there's not really that many cars left to wreck. So hopefully that means we'll stay green the rest of the day. As Chase Harris tries to go to the inside of Max Sterling. He had a bit of success there in 1 and 2, but Sterling was able to pull around him on the outside. Now Ace Garcia is going to try and pull around him on the outside. 3 wide behind for 5th, right in the middle. Cologne underneath, and Gordon up on the top. Harris is back to the inside of Sterling as the battle rages on for the lead.
Sterling tries to get that outside working. A great defensive drive there by Sterling. Garcia is making that outside lane work on Chase Harris. What a move by Ace Garcia.
Now he's going to the inside of Sterling, but Sterling's going to block him. I have not seen a car work the outside lane as well as Ace Garcia has, so that's very interesting to see out of that 52 Red Bull machine. Oh, here we go. Now he's going to go to the inside of Max Sterling, try and take the lead away. Harris fell all the way to 5th, by the way, as Thompson and Wright both got by, and now Thompson and Wright are battling each other for 3rd.
Ace Garcia, whatever his crew did under that caution, they nailed the setup for this green flag run for however long it lasts. Ace Garcia into the lead for the time being. Sterling slips to 2nd. Now Wright works the outside on Keegan Thompson. Is he going to get around that 23? Yeah, he did.
Comes Harris to the inside of the 23, trying to take advantage and go to 4th. Stephen Cologne around the outside. I don't know if that 52 was a fluke or not. I think that outside lane actually is coming in. I didn't really expect to see that, but Stephen Cologne, you see him making the outside work on Chase Harris as well. That's very interesting to see. It looks like he might even complete the pass coming out of turn 4, and he will.
They've certainly laid down a lot of rubber up there tonight, and of course these are not fresh tires on this last restart. They had a very quick restart after that first cycle. So, of course, there's some splitting strategy going on. Some of them came down for 2 or 4 tires, others stayed out. So Keegan Thompson now trying to get down to the inside of Max Sterling. Not going to be able to. But Ace Garcia, owner Matt Tuck, has got to be really, really satisfied with how Ace Garcia is doing tonight. It's been an abysmal start to the season for Team Velocistar outside of the Mitchell Henderson Talladega win. Ace Garcia is 27th. Caleb Rose is 33rd, but Mitchell Henderson is 21st. That's their championship spots coming into this race tonight. Ace Garcia looking to get the boss man another win tonight in the Trinity River Cup Series.
They're closing in on a lapped car ahead of them. I think that's Justin Zeidel in the 83, and he is going very slow, so this is going to be a bit of a headache for Ace Garcia and everybody else in the field here. Garcia's going to get held up, but not held up a ton, but held up enough to get Sterling and Thompson back in this battle, as well as Trey Wright in the 95.
Kind of a similar situation to the way the lap traffic worked at Rockingham. We mentioned that race a little bit ago. And where is Chase Buck fallen? The winner of that race. Oh, as Justin Zeidel gets in the way of Paul-Antoine Serre. And he'll get to the outside, thankfully, before they get off into this corner. But Chase Buck, who won that Rockingham race, is slipping backwards. He won at North Wilkesboro 1 week ago. He is now 19th on the racetrack as Justin Zeidel continues to slip back in this field. Slide and Seb down to the inside of Chase Buck. He's got shuffled all the way back to that front group.
Chase Buck didn't pit under the last caution, so he's on older tires, so it's not that shocking that he slipped back. I'm surprised how well Max Sterling's been holding on to second, because he also stayed out. He's been able to hold off everyone save for Ace Garcia. But he's got Keegan Thompson, Trey Wright, who we know those two cars are very fast, knocking on the back door of Max Sterling's car. Sterling's teammate Paul-Antoine Sierra is currently running in 5th place, trying to get his first career win. He's doing a good job so far. Ooh, Anthony McClure, Thomas Troxel battling behind them, and for second, Thompson underneath Sterling. He's going to take Wright with him. They should both be able to get by the 17.
We'll try to keep both these battles in the shot for the time being. Here we go. Heading off into 3. Wright and Sterling, McClure and Troxel through 3 and 4. And behind him, Kukulon and Upton. We might go 3 wide here in the quad oval. Here comes Paul-Antoine Sierra. Oh, big tight squeeze there for Trey Wright and Max Sterling into turn number 1.
Sterling slipping up the track into the outside lane. Be careful, Wright's able to clear. That would have been dangerous if he didn't pull that off, but thankfully he did, and that's good news for Paul-Antoine Sierra, because now he's got some room on the inside lane to try and get by both of them and move his way up into 3rd. He might take the 76 of Elijah Gordon with him as well.
Ace Garcia still continues to lead here at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. 20 laps to go in the Bojangles World 600. Elijah Gordon trying to pry Trey Wright off that inside lane. And heading off now down the back straightaway. Wright pulls ahead, just a little bit ahead of that 76. Sear trying to catch up to that 23 of Keegan Thompson. Things have settled down, but really only marginally if you see how close everybody is, but the tires are definitely wearing into the racetrack, and we've got to be thinking about when's that last cycle going to happen. Oh, boot, scoot, boogie. Thomas Troxel has had enough of Anthony McClure.
Remember, these two faced off at the end of the race at Minnesota. Troxel ended up losing to McClure, and now Troxel and McClure battling each other once again for the 7th position this time here at Charlotte. Troxel will be able to get by him, and now he's going to try and get by Max Sterling. He almost bump and ran him as well.
Into turn number 1 goes Thomas Troxel. He has only 1 career win to his name in this series. That came last year at the Pocono Raceway, by far one of Thomas Troxel's best tracks in his NR2003 career. But a big dive there on Max Sterling. He's going to get that 6th position from that 17, but it is a 5-car train up front. They're kind of all by themselves, but Troxel's trying to close in on them and make it a 6-car train if he can, and don't look now. If Anthony McClure can get back caught up to that 62, remember, he got bumped and ran by Troxel a little bit ago. So I'm sure Anthony McClure is going to want to send a message.
And tell by the way he's driving, he's trying to run him down as hard as he can. Look at that, he closed to the back bumper real quick.
And what's the best way to pay somebody back? To beat him on the racetrack.
That's for sure, as they go into turn number 1. No payback there, but front 5 pulling away, and they're starting to accordion back together. Save for Ace Garcia, who's kept that same gap over Paul-Antoine Sierra there. Actually, I don't know if Paul-Antoine Sierra's been in second the whole time. I think he got by Thompson at some point and we missed it, but
I think we're getting
Thompson's going to try and get back underneath.
We've got some guys coming down into the pits, by the way. Chase Harris is down, Caleb Rose is down, Colin Teague, Max Sterling, and they slowed up a ton up front. Oh my goodness, right as we come back up here, we're 3 wide. But I think we're really getting ready to see the cycle begin to manifest. They were really, really slow coming through the last time. Well, I would not be surprised if Ace Garcia came down here, or somebody in this top group came down. And they're not going to. They're going to stay out 1 extra time. And we'll see if anybody else does.
Cars that are out here pitted under the last caution. The ones that are pitting right now did not. So these cars can go a few more laps on tires before they have to come down and maybe they're trying to stretch it so that they can only need to get a little bit of gas here at the end. And here comes Paul-Antoine Sierra diving to the inside of Ace Garcia. What a move for the 7 car, and it might work out. Looks like he's going to get the lead away from Garcia.
Indeed.
We're approaching 13 laps to go this time by.
A bonus point towards the championship for Paul-Antoine Cyr. Into turn number 1. He'll complete the pass on Ace Garcia. And a 3-car train up to the outside lane there. Right, Troxel and Gordon. Now Troxel down to the inside of that 95. We're still waiting to see who the first taker is going to be in this front group. And, well, color me shocked. I guess they are going to stay out there quite a bit longer. And here's Ace Garcia trying to get back down to the inside of Paul-Antoine Cyr. The battle for the lead is on once again.
Definitely want to be the car that's leading them heading into the pit cycle, so this is a very important battle right now for the lead. Sierra's going to be able to hold off Garcia for now. We'll see if they end up dipping into the pit lane this lap. I don't think they will, though. I think they'll go a few more laps and try to stretch it as long as they can so that they can take as little fuel as possible at the end to try and get the jump on those cars that end up staying out on that last caution.
Of course, only the front 17 are on the lead lap for the time being. Roberto Crown Jr. just saw him, or just saw them, I should say. Last car on the lead lap for the time being. So things could definitely change when these drivers decide to come down into the pits. But we're coming around for 10 laps to go, and the question has got to be, ringing in their heads, can they even make it to the end from here?
They might be able to stretch it far enough to where they can make it, but I highly doubt it as we're going side by side for the lead. Garcia, they almost took it 3 wide. Thompson thought about it, but he couldn't quite get there. And Garcia back ahead over Cyr, Thompson, and Troxel, who is closed into those top 3. This is the 4 up front right now, and we got another car in the pits. I think that's Thibodeau, and he has damage. Well, he probably can't go as long as everybody else, but that should be an omen that we should be seeing the rest of these cars pitting soon. Here comes Troxel, 3 wide on the bottom here in turns 1 and 2.
And he could kind of make that inside lane work better than Thompson can in the middle. Cyr gets that outside lane to work, so Cyr will stay in second. Garcia still the lead, Troxel to third, Thompson fourth, Gordon is fifth, as we're coming around for 8 laps to go. We're still waiting to see if anybody in this front group has to come down. And you know they are just keeping their fingers crossed, hoping and praying that we do not have a caution in the final 7.5 laps of this race.
I think a caution would actually help them because of how many cars they've got a lap down right now. Oh, Cyr! Oh, he tried to get to the back bumper, Ace Garcia, and that's
Roberto Crown Jr. was... Okay, that is a sign. He's the last... They're the last car on the lead lap, and... Oh, Cyr's going to use Zidell as a pick. But Garcia's going to cut right down to the inside of the 83, trying to work that outside. Crown...
Oh, they make contact!
Oh, man. Roberto Crown Jr. is a sign. The last car on the lead lap just came into the pits. You've got to be thinking they're going to come down here soon. Cyr and Garcia, yep, here we go. 7 laps to go, coming to 6 laps to go. Here we go.
Some cars pitted last time by 2. Was that the 05 that I saw in the pits? Christian Vargas? No, that's the 3 of Roberto Crown Jr. But I saw the 73 and the 5 in there, and they're leaving the pits right now.
So Cyr, Gordon, Andrews, Wright, Upton, and Lozano down this time. Waiting to see Keegan Thompson, the leader for the time being of the race. Is he going to come into the pits? Yes, he will. And Thibodeau, of course, is on fresh tires. He's already come into the pits. Zidell has not come down, so Cologne has not come down either. So they'll all come into the pits. Max Sterling, I believe, has already come down. Yes, Sterling has already come down. And there's Lozano and Wright coming out. So we are going to see who's going to win this race under this cycle here.
Here ahead of Garcia, we'll have to keep an eye on Thompson and Troxel. They're exiting the pits right now. Haven't gotten out of the pits yet, but they are leaving. They've made their stops. Thompson and Troxel will lead them. We'll see where they come out relative to Cyr and Garcia. There's Sterling, actually. He's going to be ahead of all of them. I'm pretty sure he's going to get the lead after all of this.
Blows by Keegan Thompson. And that's going to be an enormous lead. Caleb Rose is going to be second. I think Roberto Crown Jr. is going to be third if they can get around Thompson. And I think they will, coming out of turn number 4. But Thompson trying to get up to speed, actually, with a substantially bigger gap over the 3 than I thought he was going to have. But 2.5 up ahead for rookie Max Sterling. He's the only rookie that hasn't won yet this year. Anthony McClure's done it twice. Brandon Hayes did it at Iowa. Now, will Max Sterling bring Logan Sport their first win of 2023?
Was a brilliant strategy call by those cars that ended up getting out under that last caution, and now they've leapfrogged everyone ahead. Look at Chase Buck. That's a battle for third between him and Keegan Thompson, and Chase Buck will get underneath. That's another car that did not pit under the last caution. Just blew by a car on fresh tires.
So Buck, who won at Rockingham and North Wilkesboro, both in the state of North Carolina, now looking to come out of here with a podium at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. Now 2 laps to go for Max Sterling. 2.4 is the difference up front. Caleb Rose sits in the second position. And what a fantastic run in the points this is going to be for Caleb Rose. If he can hold on another lap and a half, a desperate good run that he is needed. And his teammates, looks like it could be a triple top 10 for Team Velocity coming out of this one. White flag is out in the Bojangles World 600 at Charlotte for Max Sterling, rookie for Logan Williams and the Logan Sport Renault team out of turn number 2. The second-year driver, Paul-Antoine Cyr, and the reigning championship runner-up, Kyle McLeese, couldn't get it done first, but Max Sterling will have a win, a 1 in the win column for all 3 of the rookies, and what a way to do it! Max Sterling wins the Bojangles World 600 at Charlotte. What a place and what a race to win for the first time.
That was a truly brilliant strategy call. It worked out for just about everybody who ended up staying out under that last caution. That was I didn't even consider them as part of the battle for the win. And then all of a sudden, Max Sterling comes flying around turns 1 and 2. I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot about those guys. But Max Sterling, Caleb Rose, Chase Buck, Chase Harris all get top 5s by pulling that strategy. Buck, unfortunately, it looks like he barely lost the podium out to Keegan Thompson, but still, like, I don't think he'd be too upset about a top 5. But a race here today at Charlotte.
Not absolutely, and Chase Buck, the North Carolina native, is going to come out of here with the 3 North Carolina races we've had this year. I think they're the only 3 we're going to have. He comes out of here with an average finish in those 3 races of 2nd. So fantastic stuff for Chase Buck there, but even more so for Max Sterling, who pulls off the dub in one of the biggest ways possible, the Bojangles World 600, and Caleb Rose. After he was basically a non-factor through the middle part of that race. Strategy, what a call. What a call by that Velocity team. Gets him all the way up to 2nd. Keegan Thompson 3rd. Chase Buck 4th. Chase Harris, last in the championship point standings coming in, finishes 5th. A double top 5 there for Monkey Buck Racing. Colin Teague 6th. Paul-Antoine Cyr in 7th. The 7 car finishes 7th. Ace Garcia 8th. Mitchell Henderson 9th, so a triple top 10 for Team Velocity. And Kanan Biller, Season 2 champion, is back in the top 10. Fantastic stuff. That's only his 2nd top 10 of the season. Looking through the rest of the standings here, Roberto Crown Jr. and Justin Zeidel, the only ones not finishing on the lead pace. 23 cars finishing on the lead lap, and, well, everybody who was out of the race was I think, every single one of them, except Trey Smith, was due to that incident on the back straightaway, that big, enormous pileup. Eric Monaco, Kyle McLeese, Andrew Williams, Alejandro Cruz Jr., William Brock, Mitchell Collins, Priya McShane, Braden Perez, Marty Sakala, Nicholas Samadio, Blake Parker, Brad Stover, Brandon Hayes, and Will Parrish were all knocked out in that incident. Trey Smith was knocked out with a piston failure coming to the restart, actually, after that very caution. But what a race here at Charlotte. Not much better. Much better than the first attempt, I would say. Brennan, final thoughts on this one?
Well, did see strategy come into play in that race, and I'm here for it. I love it when strategy comes into play, and Max Sterling was on the right strategy. The only one of the cars that had actually pitted under the last caution was Keegan Thompson. The top 5 ended up finishing 3rd, but yeah, great race today. Good racing all around from start to finish. Very entertaining. What can I say? It's a pretty good racetrack.
Yeah, it's a race I've been looking forward to doing this year, basically since the season started. And what a way to kick off the second half of the season in the final season of the Trinity River Cup Series. Big congratulations one more time to rookie Max Sterling for joining the other 2 rookies, Anthony McClure and Brandon Hayes, in victory lane this year. My thanks to Brennan Wilmington for joining me on the call for this one. We will see you in the St. Louis Metro next weekend in Madison, Illinois for the Hardee's Feed Your Happy 500K. That should be a spectacular race, even though it's going to be a very technical race at that. But one more big congratulations to team owner Logan Williams for a brilliant strategy call with his team to send their rookie Max Sterling to victory lane, the first time for a Logan Sport Renault this year into the victory circle, and the first time since Season 3 that a Logan Sport car has gone to victory lane. They did not 1 year ago. And just wonderful, wonderful job. Job well done for the Logan Sport crew, getting it done tonight on one of the biggest stages. We'll see you next week at Gateway. Until then, y'all take care, stay safe, and have a good one.